Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we don help we for share this program. Yeah! God bless you.
7:43 at the time from the studio clock, and the program is still listening to now. Good morning, Salon. We come to you from New Englandville Studios, Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And we tell you earlier na the headline them for sitting at the program. We can look at waiting civil society organization and thing, but the price of fuel we don't go up since yesterday, where the Ministry of Trade been put what say the different price for petroleum products, especially petrol, diesel, and kerosene, don't go up from 8,500 gallons to 9,500 gallons, with about 12% increase. Don't they on the pump price for petrol, kerosene, and diesel? Well, now the studio this morning for can look at this topic. I want to welcome we studio guest them Edmond Abu, Executive Director, Native. We studio guest them Edmond Abu, Executive Director, Native Consortium and Research Center. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, 98.1.
All right, we also get at the studio this morning Moses Mambo, in the National Coordinator for CSO on Service Delivery. Edmond Abu, Executive Director, Native Consortium and Research Center. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, 98.1.
All right, we also get at the studio this morning Moses Mambo, in the National Coordinator for CSO on Service Delivery. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning and good morning, listeners and viewers.
Well, now the program this morning, I start for talk to Edmond Abu. We are the Executive Director for Native Consortium and Research Center, as they don't exist for the past 20 years. Also, we sit in the advocates on issues them we get for do with livelihood. They do different demonstrations them. They draw the attention of government on issues them where they believe say the government for the look into for sake the livelihood of citizens them, especially where it comes and decision making on different national issues then. Well, just last week we been get Edmond Abu on the phone where we made the interview and where they made the raise concerns say they don't hear say the price of fuel get for go up. But according to the person who been getting at the studio from government that day, then we talk say they're not been getting information but increments of prices on the petroleum products them. Well, yesterday we heard the Ministry of Trade on pull what now officially say the price they don't go up, and Edmond Abu come out now the Native Consortium where then they do research on different things them, and as I don't give background or to now 20 years experience on different things when I don't advocate for sake of livelihood. Firstly, this come as a surprise to owner for say finally governments end up is the price on fuel products and despite the fact the rumors them be don't they go around way then be don't they say no to true.
Well, of course, come as a surprise, and in fact, firstly, I want to tell 98.1 thank you. And I make in fact, I be really appreciate with the PRA or the Minister of Trade in our studio, not discuss the issue like that did. So for we, come as a surprise because like I tell one the other day, I tell Fambolem, coming events cast the shadows. We don't do into this industry from petroleum in particular from 2005. Some of we don't do into advocacy for people poverty alleviation, poverty reduction for over 25 years. So this is what we've done for all throughout more than half of our life. So basically, it not come as a surprise. We knew, we don't see because some of us get reliable intelligence. So this is what they say, Native Consortium, anything they say, now radio and television, it's true. We feel disappointed, we feel betrayed, and we, like I say, we still get for register with disapproval over this particular issue. And I even understand, so they called me yesterday, then talk to different actors. Of course, we not be the part of that meeting, but it's okay. And we don't see this whole thing. Say we don't see on the camp. Say eager for camp, and we want to tell. And I heard the trade minister they talk now 99.9. I even go there for a response to him, but I not be for it, and nobody give me the chance. Say people don't get to understand. Nobody not get to understand this, Mr. Minister. People they suffer, and this if I add to the suffering of the people because. maybe if this increment get for affect me too, we something we afford. That they imagine me on kuwedina nengbema. Udami yoda anti wedina sanama bolonto. I get for film because each and every, for instance, price of transportation don't go up, and this will be the effect for not to the product we could concentrate on. Now the pass-through effect we they get on transport price. For instance, now if one come along the for car, they say 1.7, and mark you they get a change effect. So obviously the driver then go for rip off. Because that 1.7 the way they take now they go to 2,000. So I don't understand outside Mr. Mr. People like for understand.
We carry chart the changes of price, and because we see already at least don't come officially from the Ministry of Transport as to how most people for the pay.
Yeah.
But when you start for talk, you make mention say because of this decision, when I feel disappointed and betrayed. Waiting at the betrayal in this.
Well, they add something to the people. Then including US also now. This thing get for affect President your own people. It get for affect everybody. It get for even affects the government. And I made the last time what I tell Dr. Balwa say when government the last research we'll do along with IMF 2017 we become realize say the total petroleum product they sell of all products for the day now about 4.2 million liters, and part of it government save the spend. So if government save the spend, like I be saying no last week, on fuel, let's say government they spend like 1.2 million or 2 million liters per day, it get for affect government budget, it get for affect to budget. So all of this, waiting as the true waiting at the macro and the same thing at the micro. So basically, this particular decision is very, very bad. We tell the government, and we go continue to tell the government. It's soon as government they don't treat we all throughout. We'll shout, we'll demonstrate, we'll talk. We government ready for go ahead.
Wait to make you say the decision where government make very bad. Waiting at the research way una do una find out way una convince say the decision where government make.
One you no need for the if you pay Peking school, if you pay transport for Peking at 3,000.
So based on una research, waiting una
no, you don't need rocket science. This is simple. Like when they drink water, 1+1. You they give Peking transport to 3,000. Now that auto 3,000 you get for give Peking transport again. Or that transfer they pay for Canada, not to 3,000 again, 1,515. Now 4,000 now. So that disposable income, that 1,000 again for you don't take out from the yarn. So and if you go bow or that person they come order where they pull in a market from bonds or they pull in G blocks from I call her Bamo Luma for Cam, and they add prices. So now this guy for make now you kobo, you G blocks, you Jakato, plus you agree everything get for go up. So you see how the cost of living they go up. Now I mean they say fear na a composite demand in economics because it affects everything. So you don't need research on that.
So in as much as when they raise the concern say the effects get for really deep and the one that we're not able to afford this fuel increase. We don't take place. And also take into consideration, say, when you look at the world markets, the price for crude oil, same way, so they go up?
Well, I think, you see, let me tell the minister the other day, I tell PRA, we they look at this price, like almost on a split seconds, now the world market. And one thing what they always say, you see, sometimes government can suffer from what they call insensitivity hangover. The government, most times, sometimes, they're not going to look at the bigger picture. Now, the world market price, the PLO increased by 14% from the last 98.1 be Osmina. And I wanna see, I even give justification. Say yes, in fact, fear long go up than the world market, it don't jump by 200%, they don't increase by 21% locally. This one, it don't go up by just 14%. So government not for the increase. In fact, fear long go up than the world market, it don't jump by 200%, they don't increase by 21% locally. This one, it don't go up by just 14%. So government not for the increase this price, government for them bear. You understand? Till August, let we see how Iran and America, the relationship they go. When once they leave that band-aid, then obviously supply go boost the world market. So this particular, the MRQ within the COVID, now things are not normal. Would expect more restrictions them. So when you add them body in also, mark you, government have to look at how they save life and livelihood. Okay. So if you make the thing add more burden on the people, no problem. And assume the government don't treat it successful government to today. It's very, very bad. Yeah, it's very, very disappointing.
Okay. We go cancel you back. Continue for the we inside the program. Well, we get another civil society person inside the program. We come out from civil society.
The system, the whole sector, for make the public they understand how the petroleum sector they work. And if you look at that report, they will try for lay out clearly the petroleum product versus the oil marketers and government, and bring out key issues. Them one of the issues who try for bring out now whose role will government they play in the petroleum sector, because a lot of myths they will be they go around saying now government they import oil, now government they bring crude oil now this country here, now government they go buy, now government they counter, and now government they sell give the oil marketers. And we find out say in we report we found out say in we report that one they not true at all. Government basically not get no role where they play in the import of petroleum products na the country. Two things now they deal with the import of petroleum product. One, you look at the Platts at international market. Oh, don't talk about where 9 people they can refer to as price per barrel. As of today, the price per barrel internationally is $73.5 per 1 barrel. 3 months ago, now be $42.9 per barrel. So you see the increment we don't take place quick one. And the market, the oil market now a sector we very volatile. A volatile in the sense if the players then where they within the sector, where government now like the referee, you get the actual players. The actual players now the oil marketers. Salon as a country as we see also now, we they use 1.1 liter a day. And within the sub-region, before this time and even now where the fuel long go 9,500, where they sell the least petrol, the least fuel per liter, and the whole of Africa. So, now only as of now also the whole of Africa, now only 2 countries then they where the fuel cheap past 9,500. Then 2 countries then they na Nigeria and Ghana. Why? Because then they produce oil within their country. Okay. So for the past 2 weeks, because government they pull the price na do for petroleum product every month that they review, then come back, work with all the players. And Salon pricing formula, now one of the most transparent, so don't see other pricing formula than at the sub-region. Now one of the most transparent in the whole of Africa, because all the sector players then they participate, including civil society, they participate. At first, the oil marketers and government were pushing for let the fuel go at 11,000. So we go there slightly within the African and regional average, which is 11,500 across the region. But as CSOs will be able to press government to a point that yes, we know what's in the happen internationally, we know the constraints where the oil marketers that they go through, but we can press it up to at least 9,500 in order for cushion the effect. Now make I just
you can't respond to it in Edmond Abuto, but what I want for bring you back to earlier on, you say government not get any role where they play in the importation of fuel or any kind of thing. So what do you think about that? You not feel say that's the affect really the fuel price in the country?
Well, I think say basically domestically they affect the fuel price in the country, because now make few months ago government we don't buy in young plan, because before this time the oil marketers can come and then they set the agenda for government. Now government says they monitor waiting they happen at international markets. Then they monitor outside and they buy and how much then they buy. You know why that one they good? Because the oil marketers they will just sit down and grab the money and tell government say oh go today now $80 will buy per barrel. The whole way government they play now for make sure say they coordinate the sector and make sure say the product is always available. So now then at that point where the council now when my border raise up, where it talk about the sufferings of the people economically, law compare 2 things then okay, the sufferings of the people and the availability of the product, which do you prefer? Now maybe if they say petrol no day na petrol station for a whole day, it'll be a huge disaster. So for me, what we they press for now for ensure say the product is in country and is available at the least village.
So for una this consortium for civil society on service delivery, una think say na the right time this way the price for don't go up petroleum products in?
Yes, looking at various factors we put now we report, we think say at least for make domestically the fuel continue for day, and the people and we the people of Salon continue for use the fuel. Let's smuggle out. Mind you, when we petrol been the 8,500, Guinea the fuel na 10,200, Liberia the fuel na 10,800. What's they bring? You find out say smugglers they can at Salon and buy with fuel cheap. Imagine we only get 2 storage facility. Salon only get capacity for store 45% of petroleum product where we they use in country. It means say every 2 weeks Salon need for refill with fuel in order for make we get capacity at all. We let petroleum product they in country all the time. So now If we price not dey at par with wetin dey happen at the regional level or African level, you dey find out say people in the come and seize advantage per dandy. Let's talk about the common man. How much fuel really the common man they consume in terms of fuel? Big multilateral companies now they benefit, for example, the subsidy where government don't they put on fuel, and these are subsidies where them for use. Imagine if Edmond Abu sit and say, okay, government don't pull all the tax where they get from fuel. Government don't reduce the cost of fuel to 5,000 leon. And all the other things we then for pay, government don't pull out. Then and we wake up in the morning, we find out say teacher they in the streets. We wake up in the morning, we find out say nurses and doctors they don't deploy in the streets. We wake up in the morning and find out say civil servant they don't strike.
So Mr. Mambo, then here we talk about as on a consortium in position as to the increase on fuel price. Now information they wanna get from the public on a consortium no more put them together. Also wanna get on a findings for saying this are the right time for let the price and go up. Would that inform for
now oil markets they do on domestic affairs, but mainly again for do the international dynamics of the pricing. So the first thing what we do now for compare how the barrel price on they go up from January 2021 to June ending 2021. That are the first parameters. Citizens always all over the world, including even America, nobody no want let any commodity price go up. Every citizen of any nation
on them behalf now for say this is the right time and for day about that 9,500.
I don't just say you say
they say then self no be one for let go up.
I don't just say you say 2 weeks ago we are on heated engagement with government of Salon because they wanted the fuel price at least in order for curtail smuggling of fuel. Government and the partner they wanted the fuel for they at par with at least the regional standard, but we say no. Because yes, we agree, because we get all the facts and data. Say yes, at international level, the price of barrel don't go up. Where government don't get nothing for do with that one day. And if government, the oil marketers, they begin press say, then the money where they use for pay per barrel, the exchange don't go up. The forex where they use don't go up. The money where they use for buy per barrel don't go up. And government say continue for keeper. And mind you, Salon gets a negative feedback from places like World Bank and IMF, where would they pay subsidy for fuel? Because for IMF and World Bank, they see and say subsidizing fuel not there in the interest of the people. Because when you subsidize fuel, the actual fuel where the people in the use, you understand, like they talk about goods and services, transportation of goods and services from districts to urban, you find out say a very small. Now big multilateral companies, now then they benefit from the subsidy. So the development partners, they don't cry at down. So government self, no, they do that anymore. However, we work with government closely for ensure say yes, we know say price and the change and they change thick and fast. It is the right time to increase the fears of fuel, but let it not go above 10,000.
Alright, continue for the between at the studio. That's Moses Mambu, the national coordinator for CSO Consortium on Service Delivery. They are the talk about them position for Sika, the fuel price we don't go up, and according to them, now the right time this way government for the price according to factors them we don't list. And we also get at the studio Edmond Abu, when a executive director price. Well, we go continue for look at more issues in the program, but let we go for short commercial break.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for we don help we for share this program. Yeah, God bless you.
The issue of the fuel pump price we go up yesterday. We been listening earlier to waiting Mr. Mambu talk from the consortium of civil society organization them where they work on service delivery, and you said we don't put the organization in your position earlier before that. But as we dey continue for look at this issue, I want to take your mind back to around the first 100 days of President Bio administration, where we been get the very first protest under this administration, been get to do with fuel again at that time, where according to IMF conditionalities, government been pull the subsidies where they may pay for sake of fuel, where be make it go from 6,000 leons to 8,000. And now we dey talk, we don't come down the line, it don't go 9,500 leons. Looking back, the native consortium on the search center, when I think say now one part of the decisions and dandy, we don't make the country day to the position where they now for let the pump price don't go up back from 8,500 to 9,500. That'd be a wrong decision from that same day.
Well, you see, fortunately, me, apart from being a civil, I don't become a consultant over time. I don't go to many countries. I remember, I think 2019, we're going to World Bank, IMF. We used to maybe be attend that conference day. We don't go show with Sabi Day. World Bank, IMF don't invite you to conferences in Washington many times. We don't go to East Africa. We for sure say for like we go share with experience on then subject here. The thing will be up between April, the former president Kuruma, then we go take a loan. That loan, the part of the loan agreement, it be tie, it be attached. One, government supposed for institute, what they call single treasury account, where enshrine na the PFM Act of 20. Also, they say government supposed for remove fuel subsidy. But now two things for that formula, because we do a whole lot of study on that thing. The thing will be there for that formula that the excise duty and the landing cost, na the which be there. So we be they say, okay, if you don't take excise duty on distribution, excise duty on importation, flex that figure, then and then now with the bat with the former government. So when the thing become way heated now for meet up 2017-18 election, then they go out on the former president. He say, well, if we don't agree, this not we don't loan, we don't agree. Then later I say no, this not what the part of the discussion, they right through and through. I think people they know with position. So then they be different. We go to State House, they invite two. The first 100 like they say, they invite you two. We go there. And then I make the position, all man be the World Bank, IMF, all the big donors, the EU, all man be the president, vice president. I look at the president and the vice president. Now in face, I tell them, say, if we increase this pump price of fuel, but they say be under pressure when they come just 100 days. Because the IMF say, because government not be there for mobilize enough revenue for prepay and service them debt, then now be the sticky issue. Maybe. So now me could say no. In fact, there is a way. In fact, that see recommendation we don't recommend. From the days of Pakaba to date, and if I was part of the PRA, Nazar for don't do. The price maybe and one unago malanko per mine and red per mine not to the same price. Diesel. The price maybe and one unago malanko per mine and red per mine not to the same price. Diesel and petrol not to the same price. Kerosene and petrol and black water not to the same price. So for now you even put up, and that was the issue. For now you even put the all two at 8585 or at 995. For me, that was the sticky issue. What did they do? Now make if you don't take them, the difference between the petrol price and the diesel price. Now that difference they need is serve as because when they only give description, when they cannot read it for, we also they give prescription to the problem. So now they me think say the problem there. So that thing will happen the first 100 days, and then in fact, if also we be to say the court case, we get court case with them who are coming in them. Because lawyer don't advise you say let we not protest, so we don't know what will happen. Now today if we don't come out because obviously if we don't do them, so that particular thing will happen, and this outside the former president he go remember those days between January to the elections. When the team be on the hit now, after IMF don't pull out, then come back, then say, then go meet the president. But say they increase the pump price of fuel. As at them. So that moment then and now, it different. Anybody tell you say now IMF the first government, that one in a straightforward line. Not to IMF, not the one that kind of strict condition there for service any loan, because the government they mobilize enough revenue maybe. I wish una can give me time.
Because that's how I ask you it's about revenue mobilization, and this August way you say wanna be the push for at least government for the way till August and see what thing that happen before they increase the price or not. Because I be one for ask again, if we also take into consideration, say not to government they in charge for being there fuel come, we get communism, big communism the way they in charge and they.
I don't think say anybody don't ever talk say government in charge of fuel. Nobody know ever.
And according to
did that.
information where we get, negotiations be don't go on between government and the companies and we they in charge of the fuel. But then said we don't bring at the table the constraints that we then said they get, forget the fuel, bring and come, and all the costs we can involve and the price where they sell them at, we then say they run at loss. Now take that into consideration as well.
You see, let's tell you something. Me don't work in an oil company. Apart from the fact I don't work in an oil company. So I need to talk, but then tell what they talk from an informed position. You understand? The issue is here, the issue of say, now one importer will get, now ADAX. Then now 3 oil marketers will get, Leonco, ANP, and Total. Now they don't buy Total. So that issue they will say, oh, fuel price don't, uno almost fuel price don't go up. And all the oil market price, where they happen, now we prescribe to government, say let government buy plots, let government own plots. Then they don't begin to talk about that from the days of Pakaba. Because the essence of owning a plot, now for let go, because government don't know almost they go buy. So when they buy plot, if they say the cost of refined product cost 5,000 euros for 1 metric ton, government they know. Because what we don't happen, they can't lie and government, the marketers say we'll buy this. And so for like government, so nobody not talk, nobody not ever talks to government and import fuel. Government they regulate, and that's the function of the PRA.
So the issue is that now it is in the hands of few individual where
like any other country.
Yes, it is in the hands of few no, but we salon because where the PRA boss it talk about 2 people companies where then they in charge
where they get dominant.
Yes,
sure.
Yes. So the point is, if now them no more they in charge and government not fully involved, you know, feel say then Quinten forget monopoly over market and this go affect.
Well, then get what they call cartel.
They
get what they call cartel. They all they gang up together. A cartel now also get so many sellers. They get one perfect price where they all they fix. They can agree say this not the cartel. Now so any other country they, you understand? The issue of say they set them price. Yes, and also we get very few individuals where they control the market. So what you government they do, they liberalize the market. One, you liberalize the storage. Let government own your storage. Also they get something like 120,000. So if one or maybe one for couch fail, if the car is torn that. But what now if you want couch fail now, what did they happen? You the goat fail now they own depot. And if we go to another, then they overcharge you. So you know they able to survive now the market. Now so they control the monopoly. Now so they don't monopolize this market for over 20 years. You understand? So this is another nothing for do the price. So nobody not tell you say now government they count fuel. No, this is not private sector driven later. And our government look like what I can go now. What happen at Guinea. Guinea gets a centralized depot. We not to the individual then get on. What I mean the individual companies.
Alright.
So when they count the fuel, they go the government now so like PPP. Government get 80% shares in that depot day. So anybody who can count fuel, nobody they control the market. But look away from that. Now come to the central issue. The central issue here is government need for diversify economy. Left for this tax, when you open the tax bracket on a lifeline product, it a bet. And when it bets, it hurts the common man. Now one day native we own position. And I think say they make the talk say government get for try for make sure say it move away from taxes. So anybody they tell you say now IMF condition now of course now then you don't but the other thing fuel now I don't talk this so many times and over. We get the cheapest fuel because now we get the most non-cashy fuel in the world market.
Okay.
Because with PPM now 1,000 for instance Ghana you get 200% PPM content. So then I not start at the issue of say I they talk this back again. Hey, go to Guinea they smuggle fuel. No need for smuggle go fuel. When they smuggle bike them for car, nobody no grumble. So that one is not an issue. So waiting we still stay. Let government continue to be sensitive to the plight of the people.
Okay.
People they suffer. And now it can add suffering to the people. And that one thing is not good. And I think say President Bio, who said I want let President Bio listing this one today. Now left this issue of would I defend this, would I not defend this, or this. That's not what the thing where I want let President Bio and the government understand now that people then they way they not mean well around them, and as it is this particular decision it hurts the people because change effect now who say they be 1.5 now 2,000 for go all thing they go up that ain't bad.
Continue for day with we inside the program. That's not the executive director na Native Consortium and Research Center Edmond Abo. Well, the program Good Morning Salon they continue and we
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button And then you come over here and press this bell. So the bell option, press this one with all. And don't.
We get for do it the fuel pump price for petrol, diesel and kerosene. We go up yesterday from 8,500 gallons to 9,500 gallons. Well, we get civil society organizations them. We get Edmond Abu from the Native Consortium and Research Center, and also we get Moses Mambo, civil society organization on service delivery at the studio. But on the line now, we want for hearing from government as to how they need to this decision for the pump price for petrol, kerosene and diesel go up from 8,500 gallons to 9,500 gallons. And for let we get the side from government, we get Dr. Hinga Sandy on the line. We are the Minister of Trade and Industry. Good morning and welcome to the program. Dr. Sandy?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. It's up to you. Good morning.
Yes, you don't follow discussions as to the price of pump price for fuel, kerosene, and also the price actually diesel. Of course, we go up yesterday. I guess you don't follow the discussion from the public. From the time where the rumors then be there around for say government one for finally yesterday, we see you wanna be able for each a decision for say the price for pump price for go from 8,500 gallons to 9,500 gallons. How government reached to this conclusion for the change in pump price?
Well, first of all, up to you. Waiting on the happen. COVID don't really impact the global economy, and you don't see how much it don't do to most of them big economies. Sierra Leone more insulated. The crude oil substitute the price yesterday it was around $75.50. Now it don't even today as I speak to you, it don't go above $76. And the plus than the actual price of the refined crude oil instead bend on the go. And in fact, you don't see the ramification on even the freight charges. The fees them where normally people and they pay for make them able to bring goods them from one country to another on the ship. Instead on the go. So we don't see this increase with the government on the use some other resources to see how we were able to keep at 8,500. But certain things and then you go do an out you still been run out of which thing you get. So we don't realize say if we not change the price, a number of things will happen. Because when you take a look at what even they happen ECOWAS, the prices of fuel now the other country they really they right up now. You go to Ghana where they produce fuel. Right now the petrol per liter and they're around 11,500. Senegal now the same, Ivory Coast now the same. In fact Banjul they go up to 12,000 now. So when you take a look at all within the BISO, government get a number of things, but including the fact say COVID day, we know say new restrictions for the especially with the third wave of COVID we don't come. We have look at and think we do the adjustment in a way where it really not hot to people. So like where people they speculate, sometimes we don't go above 10,000, but we have to try for keep them at 9,500.
As of last week, where we been get the executive director now from the Petroleum Regulatory Authority, he been talking at the studio say, he not be get any confirmed information as to the rumors them where we don't go round for say the fuel price will get for go up. So waiting change from last week to now, where yesterday we heard the announcement of the change of pump price.
Yeah, call on rumors. So and as government agency, we know go and either add substance to rumors. Now, where the data or the thing them where we work on, they speak to which will determine the decision. Now they really make we come out and make a statement. So if we see the PRA director not being try for confirmer, we also instead as being a very key decision maker. No one give substance to the kind of rumors and they working able to change a number of things where they happen in the market. But honestly, it has been coming. We only don't try for keeping at stage 5 for the longest time because we really want to see how in the midst of all everything we all go through, the difficulties with COVID don't come pose, we consider the livelihood of Sierra Leoneans. We try for exercise some restraint. But honestly, it's supposed to don't go past that 8,500 long meeting.
So the 9,500 leons where you say na the best stand wanna be able to settle for. How una reach to this conclusion? Una been get any negotiation with the company where they bring the oil, where una not be really able to convince them for go, maybe una not reach 9,500 leons, but stop unto 9,000, for example?
It's not to the companies that where they come with the oil. I mean, if you tell the companies they keep at even 9,000 or keep at 8,500, even push and down, where the company not able to go buy them, because if the price on the global market they are above which one they sell, if people are not able to go buy them, then shortage get for them at the market. So I mean, we get the price on formula and all man no bother and the time way petrol price can down, we put and even down twice. Now the first time that in history. So I think that the public understands say government no they can do any kind you very, very transparent with the process. Anybody who can get access to the pricing formula, we go show them and then say being try for not indeed. Now we see that happen on the global market now, really they reflect themselves now. And as I tell you, I mean you start being look at some substitute. If Ghana where they produce oil, they sell petrol right now at 11,000 leons. Imagine they are producing, but they are selling at 11,000 leons equivalent. You take a look at what's happening at Senegal, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Gambia, Liberia. Then I think the users are going to realize this. We not get any option. We know they produce the oil. We're not going to keep it at any price. The government will say we just want to control the price. I mean, it not will tell well even for the availability. And obviously, as a responsible government, we want to get to that point where people they go to petrol station and tell us the petrol not.
So this decision when I don't reach out, we get to the studio guest them. One of them don't they talk say waiting them don't they push for the citizens them. Now for let governments continue for manage the situation sometime till like August and see how things they go before una really change the price of the pump price them. So una not be get any way for cushion until August or wait small for change the price them.
Why until August? You keep it until August, then the OMC then will bring come petrol. Then petrol not they waiting for the results. Why until August? So you are ask yourself, where the price in Canton try, they will tell me will not say more keep at a high price till January. When the price comes down, we put on down. When the price go up, and they go up. So this is not about keeping the price at a particular point until a given period of time. Now so this thing don't happen. And when you take a look at what thing that happen globally, all man look squeezed, all man tight. All other countries, then, in fact, waiting in the happen, you realize this, even last month, we sell almost double the volume of fuel we sell. It was almost double waiting we normally can sell in every month. Waiting that to tell you that even when we subsidize now, you get people that will smuggle the fuel they can't go to other countries. And I mean, it not mean well for we, it not mean good for we. So you realize say it's not about time. Now when the fuel price really don't go up, the global price don't go up, we just try to make sure that we do the necessary adjustments and so that we're able to and keep within the current global trends and the dictate.
For the global trend where you talk about say salon seven for keep up to the trend where they from different countries and especially due to the COVID-19. Any projection there so far from our discussions as to how long this price go get for day or any time they will like the members gonna go for bringing and Kandong back if any changes in the world market.
So I go and make we take that with mental cap off or think say this government only they try to push people them. Okay, Mabel, I'm gonna take off that mental cap off. I mean the plastic day, everybody open to everybody. Anybody who wants to see how the plastic day, we expose them to that. So if the plastic they go up, we don't even know which thing will get for bid. The uncertainties them boku. OPEC right now they even control how much of crude oil in the sale. So say globally, and then they control how much fuel they go, how much fuel they can. So if they continue with that strategy, because the fees they then want make them products and the one that they produce, but make them products and get value, we not get any option. If the crude oil go up, which you want to, maybe you not get any other thing for do. The crude oil, the global price just they go up. If the plus then they go up, now up then they go. If they can't down, they can't down. So now this now will make we all get very, very clear. And I think say if we able to understand and that way I think say as a country we will be united around within the reality. We're not in a virtual world. This is a real world.
As the world be, Mr. Minister, before you the left we, una also as government gets a responsibility for the keep the people informed, because one pan the reasons them we make where them price that can go up, we don't notice because una not don't they communicate the facts with people them. As a government, why we una can think see say the price and don't they change and international market una not don't they notify the citizens them for say from this time to this time we will go for change the pump price, because for example we get to the countries them like Nigeria for example, the last time when they change the pump price, notice come out for say una prepare on ourselves by next week or by so dates, change go get for day on the price of fuel because they don't change at the world markets. Why salon we not only see this, but already rumor can don't come out. Still government officials and they say they're not aware of this.
Okay, maybe one very basic reason why some tenant they will try for be sure of waiting to happen before we go out to the media. Now because maybe I tell you today you announce and say next week the fuel price get for change. The one that we get the fuel before even the time they reach, they not begin order. For wait for that time the fuel price will change. And then wait people then go, you see long queues them. And I don't know one. If you come out 1 week prior to the price they change by your announcer say the price they change by next week, you go see between that time where you announcer and the time where the price they change, fair long within at them market station. But woman go you can't be all around the place and going to one petrol station telling them open your stations. It will be very, very difficult. We don't see it. Don't they happen now repeatedly. I don't know why we still just say for the drum in different ways.
So before you left with now, which word of you go left with listeners them, especially people them way according to the native consortium, then they don't say this price change on pump fuel them get for affect the masses them greatly. Now what's what you left with them?
Well, we don't see how we don't do the engagements. I mean, throughout this week, we don't do engagements with different stakeholders. We don't talk with the civil society. We don't talk with the motor drivers union. We don't talk with the motor owners union, Poda. Where this thing will be, each time will be, we work very closely with the Ministry of Transport for more see how they will translate the change in price into the change in transportation costs. We all long at the meeting yesterday. It was a very, very fruitful meeting. The operations director for Sierra Leone Police in Dede and a number of other government institutions in Dede. We encourage, I mean, apart from the enforcement we get for Kande, we encourage with company citizens, with fellow Sierra Leoneans. Now, very, very difficult moment this way, the whole world finds it, not only Sierra Leone. You go to any other country, as I speak to you, even Saudi Arabia, the pump price don't change. So now we get this country, now we get for try for make sure say we make lives for people there a lot more better. Make we all wake up to this reality and make sure say as they go about with normal business, then we'll not try to squeeze people then in ways that will really make life difficult. So I will call on everybody, we they do the business, but you see, we try really, say this thing are not there for impact and they not try to do anything. Because we trade money for there for their out, instead of their out, we try to increase the monitoring and vigilance and try to make sure that, we're able to contain the outcomes of this particular price increase. I just encourage we all get this country more stay steady, more try for really do things the day in the best interest of we all.
All right, many thanks to you, Dr. Hinga Sandy, Minister of Trade and Industry, for that update that we give you from government's position as to the reasons them we make una see that this time una go able for raise the price of petrol, kerosene, and diesel. Well, the program Good Morning Salon they continue with a commercial break and cancel we guest them back.
Una picking for this.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. It don't done. It no get for cost you anything. When you do this,
98.1 FM. We still get with studio guests inside the program. We get the national coordinator, Moses Mambu from Civil Society on Service Delivery for talk about the increment of fuel inside the program. Now, Moses Mambu, the problem with Salon they get now the fact that they know they refine oil. And because of that, the importers them where they bring come oil na the country, according to the PRA head, it talk about the 50% additional cost where they cause on them, refinery cost, distribution cost, and transportation.
So that the fuel, the oil markets go be open up, so that other players then go able for participate. But before that, my brother raised some issues. Then we, as CSOs, we there for make sure we educate the public, make them know what's are the truth. And my brother raised a very serious concern. For me, I want to take exception to that the way he say, Salon in peer price they down compared to other countries then, because Salon they buy the baddest fuel, and that one they not true at all. The fuel market internationally not just like the aviation process. We any plane one grab na gone. They get all the sectors them, all the monitors them for make sure see them check them before it grab. Even though accidents are inevitable, just like the fuel product. You know they sell no fuel products on the international market when you don't put them for make them test them. All fuel products when in the market around the world is being tested and approved. And for confirm that one, they find out say in 2019. Just in 2019, Liberia been short of fuel. Salome gave for given 2,000 metric tons of fuel to Liberia. We been get for help them for cushioning the shortage we didn't get. And also you find out say all the global motorcar the way they think of the most powerful motorcar then they na Salon. And one day somebody not say the fuel we Salon do use don't pack my motorcar engine, because anything in this self also they can get a very serious effect. The reason is what make Salon they sell the cheapest fuel. You know why? Because the taxation where other governments and they put on the fuel, Salon you very reduced. And anytime where governments around the world where they complain, and they call pricing formula. When you set the pricing formula, it gets a lot for determine the price per liter. So most of the tax them where other countries then they levy the way they lay on petroleum products, where they set their own pricing formula, a more higher than Salon. Now I make up to today, Salon they sell one of the cheapest fuel. Lana one. Two, from 2018, according to reports, government of Salon no is no tax per fuel, no add new, no reduced. The same tax that we been there on fuel product 9 days today. As I don't say, just no fuel product is easy for understand, and it also complex for deal with. If you not deal with and critical.
So it's change where on the different pump price them. Una from the service delivery civil society organization and not things they go for affect the less privileged people are not able to afford them as it don't go the 9,500.
Of course, in terms, for example, now transport don't come up from 1,500 to 1,700. That 200 you mean a lot to the bread and butter man. It mean a lot, which is a fact and is the truth. It mean that 200 you mean a lot. But when you look at the market itself, check how much fuel poda they consume per day. Then you check how much the big companies where they benefit. For example, if government they subsidize fuel every month, my sister, government they in the position for they spend $12 billion every month, 12 billion euros every month. Imagine government they pump 12 billion euros every month into that sector day for subsidized fuel for keep them at 8,500. Then that 12 billion day a month times a year, you know how much problems where they affect the woman where they go born in hospital. You know how much problem that one they go not address, rather than you they pump that 12 billion and the smugglers then they take advantage of them. The multilateral companies where they buy you some company the way they reach a petrol station for petrol, then they buy almost 1,000 liter, 2,000 liter. The common man in basic transportation where they use so tell the powder you don't put in 2 gallon or in 20 liter, 25 liter per day, and they use them for 2 days. However, We are not saying every increment around the world on any commodity. Who's are you there right now? If I come for jingle na 98, I'll be they pay 500. When I say no now na 550,000, it affects me. It directly affects me. Every increment they affect. But
so it means on advocacy on the same page because now the same thing the consortium self.
Of course.
Then there is the concern.
Yes, the only
this for
yes,
at this time.
no, the only difference.
It affects.
Of course, the only difference with Edmond Abu, Native Consortium, the difference between we and Into
is that in timely for
yes, it's not timely for her, it's timely for we. And also Edmond Abu in this studio not don't say government not get rights for make the price go up. Because before this time, when Edmond Abu the challenge fuel issue, it go tell you, imagine the last time doing APC, I remember very well, petrol before B 5,500. That was the fixed price. But then at that time, government changed down to 6,500. And Moabu put a demonstration. And they went to parliament and say, according to the world market today, petrol price supposed to be 5,000, at least 5,500, not 6,000. He went up to parliament. But today, when you listen closely to Edmond Abu, he has not said the petrol price not for change. That is not what he's saying. Because himself no as Edmond Abu na post very correct. They punch his phone. Quick. He don't know what's in the happen with the regards to the barrel. What's in the challenge now is that it's not timely. Now the timeliness for we, the timeliness not to be determined from all investigation. The timeliness of price increase or decrease of fuel not depend on the regulator. It depends purely on what's in the happen at the international level.
Okay, continue for the between at the studio Moses Mambo with the council Edmond Abu, but quickly let we take commercial break and come here from Edmond Abu as you don't listen to the Minister of Trade as to the position of government for second decision for raise the price for pump price. Continue for the between at the studio. Come back to now.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. It don't done. It no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you.
Dr. Edward Hinga Sandi, where you don't support the government's position as to how they reach to the decision for let fuel go up from 8,500 to 9,500 gallons. From the explanation where the minister give, una still maintain una position say it not justifiable enough for let the price and go up at this time?
No, and yes, of course, we position remain irrevocable. Of course, like I say, I want let the minister understand say that Kori Mongolo Motka taxi in price it differ from Range Rover price. The ppm content we Ghana they produce now 200 ppm. We own now 1,000 ppm. So that justify that side for the minister. Secondly, so that issue one let the minister they talk say the smuggle government they subsidize. Guinea government not ever complained say they subsidize for Sierra Leone from the days of Sheikh Couture they go buy tin in Guinea with Sierra Leone. So because of a free trade agreement. Maybe I think say this is a done deal. Tomorrow they do protest, most likely tomorrow, because we get a court case. We will advise we don't say they will not take on anything. We do it peacefully. We will tell the president for register with disapproval. Most likely, and tomorrow I also want to invite the press tomorrow. Then a court, the case will take against mobile company and one for let them go. So this particular issue of fear is a done deal.
Now that's our ask because the price already go up. What's effects on a protest go get for? Make on that.
We will still go get this time because the issue is here, Mabel. Like I always say, I think say the best way therefore don't go around this thing, therefore don't call the fear. In fact, one of the things that with the oil marketers where they take against we. Now the fact say one full thing they would only do now as a government, or they put petrol and diesel at the same price. And they already say this. Most are not to the same price.
But you earlier only don't listen waiting the minister talking about the crude oil where don't go up now the oil market and where they make the importers and they spend a lot of money for bring the fine oil come now the country where don't make the price don't increase. You not think say that's not a good call?
I agree, but now look at the logic. As at the time when the fuel price be the $85 per barrel, we be sell at 85. So what's the point? I want let the minister go back. Let go check the fuel price before COVID. Let go check the price back.
But that can be COVID because the demand for will not be high.
No, before COVID,
okay.
Before COVID, fuel went to as high as $90 per barrel, almost to the cylinder. So 9,000 euros. This is not simple mathematics. 9,000 euros. When fuel then have 9, and what you are glad it is when the minister not deviate from, we say, whether they say, oh, the price per refined product. The price per refined product is fixed. Freight price, waiting at freight now for ship the fuel.
No, the price for the crude oil line emphasize on.
No, it move. And look at this. That's why you can check my phone. You know, add for no. That I agree with the government on that.
So what then for we don't do for that situation, especially for the importers, they bring the
government still for the continue for the wave now around thing they will get for deal the excise duty. Therefore, still for the something like the release. I know I use the word subsidize, but government still
no, wait, Edmo, wait. Technically, wait. Technically, now the time you are use them.
Mr. Mambo, 1 minute.
No, but if you use
you go respond to it.
Yes, because you know why, Moses. You know why? Very simple. If government they use something like 50 million liter, when you check out 1,000 increment, government lost 5 billion.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Edmo,
no wait. Edmo, let me ask you a question.
Mr. Mambo, 1 minute.
For the interest of the people, you go support let government. They put 12 billion a month on subsidy.
Even the APC government.
It's a direct question. You go support for let government they put 12 billion a month for subsidize? Will you
wait? Edwin Abu, get a chance to make it talk done. You talk now.
So at this stage, we don't know if this decision has to. At this stage, Edmond Abu, I still need to you, Edmond. At this stage, we don't listen to waiting the minister don't talk, and it all seem like any decision will get for be reversed immediately due to the changes of the price in the world market. So waiting you the advice as to waiting for happen, especially in money gain for ensure say the different changes whether they on transportation and other thing them. They how the government don't put on per price and no people are not take advantage of the situation and exploit people. Wait you the advice.
Fine. Maybe go ask for jelly. Jelly will be by 500. Now 4,000. Price control. The trade monitors the way.
No, it don't get for do that.
1 minute, Mr. Mambo. I come to you. 1 minute.
It don't get for do with price control.
Mr. Mambo, 1 minute. Mr. Mambo, 1 minute. 1 minute we will come to you.
Another time.
Mr. Mambo, we will come to you.
Another time.
Edmond.
So the minister, firstly, I still remind the government, like always, the diesel and petrol price not to the same price. This man talk about kerosene. Kerosene are the most perfect product than they all over because now the kerosene plane they use. So that one they indifferent. Now totally supply than they. So coming back to the point, government still for don't still keep this price at 8.5 and not say fuel price don't go up at the whole market because everybody decides.
So what's the need for be done now because the change don't happen?
Well, now I want to talk now. Will
they come to you? It just give you contribution.
Well, what's it for be done? I don't deal. The only thing we they do with protest.
No.
We they protest for register of disapproval.
Okay.
And I only hope. Like what they say, when the minister talks, say fuel price go down at the world market, but fuel price go down to a point that even water is very cheap. Water become cheaper than fuel. Yeah. So water become expensive than fuel. Okay. Almost the price they put on 7, it not be proportionate. Fuel be supposed to go down to as low as 3,000 euros per liter. But the minister never, so that's not the point. That the minister will mention that one they say.
Okay.
Because the reduction will be take place is not proportionate because we not wait to make us take our CM or left and for go because we not be the expected fuel for change the price for change in the short run. Just within this fuel price don't change for like 4 times.
So
no really.
Right,
so the question where Edmond will answer.
Mr. Mambu, now we wrap up the program. Only in position say it's timely for let this happen.
Yes.
Citizens where they listen to you now, we're not able yet to get the understanding as to why it's timely. What you go say to them? Why
Fine.
it's timely for let the price
Okay, so the question I put to Edmond Abu, we not able to answer. I know deliberately they answer him because simple. Now, do you against the pump $12 billion every month into the product where it knows say the effects of that 12 billion is very little on the lives of the daily man than the multilateral companies and the smugglers, and they benefit more, then go benefit 85% from that 12 billion a government the pumper. What to make you see Edmond Abu stumble? Not for you say government. What to make it? He thinks you see and say it stumble. Not for use the term say government for continue subsidizing.
So why make it?
Because it no say
Why make you say the effect on the people is very little?
The suffering of
Yeah, it affect them very little because the petroleum products on the lives of the people. For example, when Fear Longo sold 9,500, now 200 you add per transportation. Now you know what's in the happen.
But
No, at the camp. No, wait now, at the camp.
the prices
No, wait now.
Mr. Mambu.
Wait at the camp.
Mr.
Fear,
Mambu,
listen.
1 minute. You also aware say you say a small effect you get forget on the
Of course.
problem, but you also aware say this get for make the price of different commodities them as well go up.
I agree with you 100. That one, I agree with you 100%. Now, but it also better we get the product. What if we say, okay, look, keep the fuel? Me, I wake up in the morning, fuel price is 2,000 per liter, no problem. But will that make the product be available in country? Because now I don't make a scenario where I begin to talk just no say. If we say, look, keep the fuel price at 7,000, no problem. Remove pull all the tax away government they get from the product. At the camp, no problem. Then you wake up in the morning, you see nurse they didn't do. Teacher they didn't do because month down, government not able to meet a domestic obligation for pay the civil servants, for pay the teachers, pay the doctors, pay the nurses. Mind you, the wage bill don't increase because as we see there over 5,000 teachers, 5,000 nurses don't hire. Government don't hire them. Now if government so they get them money there, imagine government they take 12 billion for the deal with maternal health issues. For the rest, there's the issue of Belle woman there. They pump into fear where the people and I don't say you say powder for the day. They know they burn past 20 liter. Companies and the way they go na them petrol station, they buy 2,000 liters, 3,000 liters.
And this is in the interest of the people you advocate.
Of course. So now make us say yes, we agree. Say the interest of the people for be always put number one, but the interest of the people get for go with also a global and international demand.
Many thanks for joining the program this morning. They wrap up the program now. We don't get time.
Please, we want to invite the press tomorrow. We get a court case. We want to invite the press tomorrow. And I hope 98.1.
Many thanks for joining the program this morning. Edmond Abu, Executive Director, Native Consortium and Research Center, and also Moses Mambu, the National Coordinator for Civil Society Service Delivery. Thank you, Canada Studio this morning. At this edition of the program, go left. Plenty thank you to the production team. Mina Mabel Kabade say, get yourself a wonderful day. Goodbye.
And Mina Waniga Ojadi say bye bye.
Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program them, but you not subscribe yet to the channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button, and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one.